Well, college means more independence for many students, but it also means more financial responsibility. So before your teen goes off to college for the first time, it's really important to talk about spending and budgeting. And joining us with more information is Michael Bonds, Charles Schwab Vice President and Financial Consultant. Hello there.
How are you doing? How's the summer treating you?
Summer is treating me well, and you know, I think it would treat me better if my parents had spent more time helping me with my budget going into college, because I think if I trained younger, I'd be better now, which I think is the whole idea of why we're here today.
It is. You know, when freshmen go off to college, I mean, they're on their own for the first time. They have to make their own decisions that center around managing their time as well as their money. So
not getting caught up.
Exactly. You know, when you go to college, your schedule, your daily schedule is pretty much laid out for you as far as the classes are concerned. And much like that, you know, creating a budget gives you some discipline and some organization for you to determine where your money is going. And to stay on track if you put a plan in place.
Well, I want to talk about this because for first-time students, it's a change of life. It's a whole new world for them. So why is it so important to do a monthly budget? What would you say about that?
Well, kids, unless their parents have been really involved with their finances, which we've talked about on this show in the past, it allows them to be able to control what they're doing with their money, and that's critically important.
Absolutely. So what would be some of the tips that college students should specifically consider when they're dealing with creating this budget and how they should spend their money and save it?
Well, the first thing you want to do is live within your means. Know what you have, when you're going to get it, and what it's supposed to be spent on.
What a life lesson that is, huh?
Second is you want to be aware of big spends. This is really the bear trap for most college students with credit cards. The key there is to use the mantra, if I don't have it, don't spend it. That way you kind of pay for things as you go, and you don't get into that pressure trap of debt, stress trying to make payments, and you can focus in on the most important things, which is school.
Exactly, because student loans are enough debt in itself, and a lot of kids have to deal with that.
The third thing that you want to think about is knowing what you can afford and what you can't afford. And this kind of goes back to some things that we've talked about in the past as far as the needs versus the wants, right? And when you can get that type of discipline, that's the thing that's going to follow you throughout your life. So the question to ask yourself always is, does this expense get me closer to my goal? And if it doesn't, then it's probably a want and something to be avoided.
That's a really good way to think about it. I'm going to use that in my day-to-day life as well. And I'm curious if you have any tools that can help, because and not only first-time college students, but pretty much anyone, like we said, trying to create their monthly budget. What kind of tools can they use?
Schwab did a study and found that 88% of Americans feel that the parents should have a role in their kids' education. And one way they can do that is sit down with them and design a budget before the kids go off to college.
I like that.
It helps them with the tools online. You can go to one of our websites. It's schwabmoneywise.com. It's got a lot of tips, a lot of calculators for you to be able to design a budget and to create goals for your kids to stay on track.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. I think that should be a top priority right before they go. I really do. And so how important is it for a college-age kid to start thinking about investing for the future? Because we've talked about that a lot as well.
Right. Well, investing is preparing for the next stage, and they've already taken some time to create a savings and to invest to get to this payoff, which is the college education. So that's an outflow of money. But I think it's always good to keep focused on a couple of steps ahead of yourself when it's in finance, just so that you can be prepared for the things that are coming down the pike and know that you've created some financial and fiscal responsibility as adults.
That's really well said. So if they want to reach out to Charles Schwab for more information on this and all the things that you can cover, as well as that website, let's remind them how they can do so.
You can go to the website, which is schwabmoneywise.com, or you can call a local office at 505-878-1320. You can schedule an appointment with one of our professional financial consultants to help you with the budgeting process. And for new families that are just thinking they want to put money away for college education, we can sit down and help you plan that out, anticipate what those costs might be, and get you into the proper investments.
Perfect. Mike, thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure.